Haji Quirino Oranto, who was born on April 14, 1954, at Rumayas, Barira, Sharif Kabunsuan. In 1974, he decided to join the Moro National Liberation Front to signify his antipathy to the countless abuses and massacres perpetrated by the government troops. As a peace builder, he reaffirmed his commitment to a non-violent way of life by mediating to a dozen of conflicts involving Rido or warring clans. One of these is his involvement as chief mediator in the most celebrated conflict settlement in the Iranon area, involving the Imam and Macapehes families, where he became the major force in convincing the two families to coexist in harmony and peace with each other. There is no easy formula for genuine peace, such that restoring a fragmented community. It does not only require a peace builder, but a healer as well. Picking up from what is left of war was no easy task for Barangay Chairman Omar S. Anting of Bayanga Norte, Matanog, Sharif Kabunsuan. To him, more than the imperatives of building the physical structures of the barangay, was the prime task of healing the wounded spirits of the constituents. Under his leadership, the barangay underwent remarkable transformation, and in November 21, 2007, he presided over the first assembly ever to be held in the history of the barangay and presented to the people their Barangay Development Plan, or BDP, for the fiscal year 2008 to 2010, which embodies the totality of their dreams and aspirations of a holistic community development. Beneath the ashes of a fallen community bloomed women with formidable strength and exemplary character. They were never tolerant to the difficulties, pain, and trauma brought about by war, and yet they chose to rise above the pits and blazed uncharted course to spark hope in places consumed by utter misery. One of these women is Amina Puwalas of Malaya Buldon, Sharif Kabunsuan. Her involvement in women's organization like the Iranon Sultanate or women's sector intensified her pursuit to advance the mainstreaming of gender in leadership and governance. Being a president of the Sindao Kokalilintad has endowed her with confidence to propel positive change in her community through advancing women's right to suffice with fair and equitable opportunity to participate in community peace processes. She strongly believes that for peace to permeate in the general milieu, women should be its torch bearers. The history of this disgruntled relationship between two families has given rise to an enduring conflict that is passed on to generations and has become one of the most astounding customs that withstood the evolution of time, the Rido or clan war. Abdalawi Alan Pagrangan, known to his comrades as Commander Alan, this former MNLF commander in the 70s opted to return to the fold of mainstream society and was designated an Army Reserve in 1982. 6 years after, he was elected Vice Mayor of Balabagan from 1988 to 1994, and a year later became the municipality's local chief executive. His decision to remain a peacekeeper paved a new road for others to tread. It has provided him with clarity that indeed it takes sacrifices to keep peace and humility to make it stay. To keep peace with the rest of the humankind is everyone's responsibility. To live in harmony with the environment is everybody's duty. It means the same either way. Such is the story of Alan Doni Gumuba of Bayanga Norte, Sharif Kabunsuan. His experience in vegetable farming started in 1988 when he became caretaker of a nursery project in the municipality of Balabagan. To him, more important than the quantity of produce is the peace that comes from knowing that the environment was not harmed along the way. The nature farming technique that he learned provided him with an opportunity to advocate for the use of organic fertilizers by teaching other farmers to apply the same. His small feats may not seem to be as significant today as it would be in the future, but what matters most to him is through this means he was able to live in harmony with the environment. At the core of the region's seething mass of people, drowned in prejudice against one another, as magnified by decades of conflicts, there emerged a few bearers of peace. Some would aptly call them peace champions or peace icons. But to some, they are just ordinary people who spearheaded extraordinary endeavor of making whole that was once a broken land. These are the very people who once fall prey to the pangs of war. They've been there. They saw the mist of misery engulf their lands and felt the agony of losing what remains to be an empty hope. Their struggles involve feats and defeats. However small or big it may seem, they have their stories, and these are worth to be told.